There are 25 days left until the American people will go to the polls and decide who is the next president of the United States, who is the commander in chief of the world's most potent nuclear force and armed forces. This is the warning. Yesterday, Donald Trump did a rally. I want to read a quote from the rally. You can decide for yourself if it makes any sense and process for yourself if the man who delivered this quote should be the person that has the power to destroy the world. Oh, by the way, The Guardian is reporting that North Korean troops are fighting with Russians in Ukraine. Do you understand the meaning of that? Here's what Donald Trump said yesterday. And it's so simple. I mean, this isn't like Elon with his rocket ships that land within 12 inches on the moon where they wanted to land, or he gets the engines back. That was the first I realized. I said, who the hell did that? I saw engines about 3-4 years ago. These things were coming, cylinders, no wings, no nothing. And they're coming down very slowly, landing on a raft in the middle of the ocean somewhere with a circle. Boom. Reminded me of the Biden circles that he used to have, right? He'd have 8 circles and he couldn't fill them up. But then I heard he beat us with the popular vote. I don't know. He couldn't fill up the 8 circles. I always loved those circles. They were so beautiful to look at.
And it's so simple. I mean, this isn't like Elon with his rocket ships that land within 12 inches on the moon where they wanted to land. Or he gets the engines back. That was the first I realized. I said, who the hell did that? I saw engines about 3-4 years ago. These things were coming, cylinders, no wings, no nothing. And they're coming down very slowly, landing on a raft in the middle of the ocean someplace with a circle. Boom. Reminded me of the Biden circles that he used to have, right? He'd have 8 circles and he couldn't fill them up. But then I heard he beat us with the popular vote. I don't know. Couldn't fill up the 8 circles. I always loved those circles. They were so beautiful. They were so beautiful to look at.
And the people cheer. You can hear it in the background. And they laugh. Are they laughing the way that Vice President Harris laughed when he said the Haitians were eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio? Or is it a laugh of entertainment that people like it? Donald Trump stood up at the very same event in Detroit at the Detroit Economic Club, and this is what he said.
The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. Our whole country will end up being like Detroit if she's your president. You're going to have a mess on your hands.
The truth is, Detroit has had a lot of tough days, a lot of hard years, in fact, hard decades. But Detroit is coming back. And the workers in Detroit for the main U.S. car companies, GM, Ford, Chrysler, they make some of the best automobiles in the world. The simple truth is, everywhere Donald Trump goes, he slanders the country. He puts it down. Listen to how he talks about the United States of America. It should be intolerable to any person who's attached to reality and loves their country.
We don't have electricity. In California, you have brownouts and blackouts every week. Your car industry is going out of business. It's going out of business. Nothing to do with me. I stopped that. I stopped Mexico, which is becoming the second China, but we allowed them to come in and raid and rape our country. That's what they did. Oh, he used the word rape. That's right. I used the word rape. They raped our country. It's a failing industry, just like it's a failing country right now. We're a failing country. We're a nation in decline. I hope you know that.
With 25 days to go, some percentage of the country, and it is extremely difficult to know how many, have been overcome by conspiracy theories, at least according to the media, that declare that the hurricanes are being caused somehow by the government, directed by Biden and Harris, and targeted at MAGA voters. What should we say about this? What do we call this stupidity and insanity? Maybe the way to think about it is to ponder is if it's even possible that 10 years ago in this country, the day before Donald Trump came down the escalator, what would have been the public reaction if a member of Congress or anybody went out and said that a hurricane was targeted at voters by the government? It's insanity, but it's always been insanity. Pastor Paula is Trump's religious advisor. I've introduced her to you before.
The Lord says, it is done. For I hear victory, 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 victory in the quarters of heaven. In the quarters of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata. For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now.
Pastor Paula, Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell, every one of these religious hustlers and grifters for many years, when there were storms, would say that the storm was caused by, let's say, the gay pride parade or gay marriage. So this insanity is nothing new, but the volume of it is. The fact that this is at the core of a presidential campaign, and it's actually being stoked by the presidential campaign of the Republican nominee, is extraordinary. Soon, Donald Trump will bring his campaign to Madison Square Garden on October 27th for a political rally. He knows exactly what he's doing and where he's doing it. The political rally that his event will be compared to appropriately is featured in a movie called A Night in the Garden. A Night in the Garden tells the story of the gathering of the German-American Bund on the edge of World War II, a part of the America First movement, isolationist, pro-Hitler. They called themselves patriots. They hung up banners of George Washington festooned with swastikas. These people were enemies of freedom. They were discredited and disgraced not very long after. Let's be clear. When Donald Trump takes the stage, Madison Square Garden will once again be filled with fascists. They won't be wearing the uniforms. They won't be doing the salute, but the dogma is the same. The volume of lies is the same. The threats and the venom and the poison, it's all the same. All over the country, neo-Nazi movements are exploding. These are images from cleanup of Hurricane Helene in Florida by the Patriot Front. These organizations are not civic. They are not the Boy Scouts. They are not anything other than an evil and a profound one. And what they want is to destroy our country. And the man they cheer, the man they organize for, the man that they attack the Capitol for is Donald Trump. We are at an inflection point in the United States, in our history, in our story. Listen to the words of Donald Trump and appreciate and understand that this is insanity.
I have more complaints on grocery. The word grocery, it's sort of simple word, but it sort of means like everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does. And I have more complaints about that bacon and things going up double, triple.
The saying that if you don't learn the lessons of history, you're doomed to repeat it. Ponder why that saying exists. It exists because a fair reading of events could make the argument that history unfolds in a giant circle where we forget what lies over the horizon of the curve when we can't see it anymore. The Holocaust, the Second World War, these events still exist within the span of a single human lifetime. And yet, broadly, the whole of society has forgotten them. In fact, scores of tens of millions of Americans may not even know the event happened in the first place. So there is no lesson to learn at all, not for them. 25 days are left. Donald Trump is incoherent. He is crazy. His rhetoric is violent. He defames people on the basis of their skin color, on the basis of their faith, and he threatens violence nonstop all the time. Every single person who promised retribution and got power delivered. Every single person who promised revenge and got power delivered. And Donald Trump will deliver too. And his delivery will wreck the country, wreck a lot of families, wreck a lot of lives. It's un-American. It's immoral. It's unconstitutional, and it can be stopped in 25 days. Donald Trump is running for president for the third time in a row, and he is sustained by a conspiracy of insanity and lies and nonsense and a complicit corporate greedy media that has made billions spreading it while condemning it, while cheerleading it, while curating it. And the American people during all of it have grown cynical, have grown angry, and now on the edge of the choice, many have lost their ability to understand that the government doesn't create hurricanes and target them at voters of the opposite party. When madness comes to America, fascism is not far behind. This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.